This is the outdoor wood stove. It's an Aquatherm 345. It's one of the bigger models that they make. 55-inch.
So
firebox.
basically, if you can lift the wood and get it in there, it'll fit. So that's the good thing about this stove, is it'll handle real big pieces of wood. And a couple things I like about it is the ashes, the ash door on the bottom. It's got a auger in there to empty out the ashes. So it makes it easier for cleaning them out. On the back side, it is set up to be a high pressure, but we don't have it set up that way. We vented it. But there's a pump, and then there's a hot, or they're both hot, but the pump pumps the water into the house, and then this is the return that goes into the top of the stove. This one has a blast, acts like a blast furnace, so when the thermostat kicks it on, then it opens up this vent, and then a fan blows directly into where the ashes are, basically, and pumps air into the fire. So it's running real hot until the water gets to the correct temperature, and we're running around 165 degrees on the water going into
Fill it
the
about
house.
once a day.
Yeah, we fill it completely full about once a day of wood.
Do you think it's safer than an indoor stove?
Yeah, significantly safer. Yep. So a downside to this stove is it does go through quite a bit more wood than if you have it in the house. Not sure why, but I'm sure it probably loses some efficiency. And then when we buried those water lines, they're buried down about 4 feet, and they're insulated with that underground insulation. We made 2 channels inside of that, and then we spray foamed it and sandwiched it together to keep the pipes from heating up the ground around them and losing energy.
If you were to do this all over again, would you do another outdoor or another indoor?
No, I would say an outdoor for sure, but the indoors just aren't as safe, and you're always having smoke in the house. So with this, there's no smoke, and you can keep a consistent temperature. Thermostat on the wall is set at 68 degrees, and then once it gets down to 66, it kicks on the fan. So we just have a blower. We made this this system here. There's a blower that blows the air, and then it blows it directly on the heat exchanger, which you're not going to be able to see, but then there's ductwork on the other side of that heat exchanger. So first of all, we have a furnace filter that goes in the front, and then the blower, and then it blows through a heat exchanger. So there's 2 water lines going out, and then we dug through the basement, or we jackhammered through the side of the basement wall, and then there's a underground power line that goes to the stove out there. So we can see these are the 2 lines that went out to the stove out there. So this one, they go into the heat exchanger, which you can't see, but it's up inside of here. And this is ours is a 20 by 24 inch heat exchanger. Just got it online. So here's one side and here's the other. And then we also ran a cold water line directly into this line, so it's a lot easier adding water to the stove if you need to. Usually a couple times a year you have to add a little bit of water. And then there's also some antifreeze sort of thing that goes in with the water to make sure it doesn't corrode in the stove.